While you're looking at my new project, this was sent to me by a viewer. Let me read his email. He says, "My name is Jake. I've been watching your channel for 7+ years now. I have an antique 1930-ish Pacific radio in need of someone's help. I have held on to this radio in hopes of fixing it, but I don't think I'll ever get around to it and was wondering if you would be interested. All I would ask is for you to pay the shipping." Now, I was intrigued by this because he sent me the picture, and the dial looked real cool here. It's got a picture of a sailing ship, and the dial pointer really looks nice.
I'd like to stroke it. Oh!
So I'm going to fix this and make it sing again. Now, the cabinet's in pretty bad shape. The top here, it just comes off. It's got a bunch of, looks like water damage. It's all warped.
Oh, brother.
But first, let's get a close-up of the dial and then the name down here. Now, I've got a bright light in back of the dial here so you can see it. I think that looks pretty cool. It's got the broadcast band and shortwave, and it's got 2 lights on there. So I'm thinking when it's on shortwave, the bottom light lights up, and when it's on broadcast, just the top one. But until we power it up, we won't know. Now, there's the name of the radio, Pacific. Now, I'm not familiar with this brand, so this thing is sort of a mystery radio. Let's take a look at the rest of it. Comparing this to my previous radio, the Atwater Kent, this seems like a little toy, huh? So he's got all the tubes. This is one of those AC/DC radios. It has no transformer. And it uses a ballast tube to drop the voltage, because this is a series strung set. These 4 tubes here will not add up to 120 volts, so they had to use a ballast tube to drop all that voltage. Let me take the knobs off and we'll pull it out.
I'm so excited.
This is the output transformer. It was loose in there, and there was no speaker on this radio. So let's just flip it up and see what's underneath it. There's some electrolytics that have been replaced. This is called Rubicon. These look kind of old in themselves. There's some replacements here. I was looking on the schematic. This is a choke. From what I've been able to gather here, this is around 1937. This is one of those cheapy radios that you can probably get for less than $20 back then.
You're just cheap.
This ballast tube is an L49C made by Triac. This output tube is a 43. This is the 25Z5 rectifier. Looks like this is missing the cap up here. This is a 6C6.
You don't say.
And this is a 6D6.
Oh, how nice.
There's the 2 lamps. And the dial's made out of cardboard.
Oh my God!
Not much to it, huh? There's the plate on the back of the chassis. And it's got the licenses of RCA, GE, Westinghouse, and Hazeltine. It's even got a serial number. Now, I gotta check these tubes to see if they're any good. Again, these are old tubes, so I can't test these. I can only check the filament to see if there's any continuity on here. And I gotta make sure the ballast is working. But I bet this would work if we just plugged it in. Of course, I need a speaker. Let's take a look at the schematic.
Okay.
This is for models 15, 16, maybe that's series 37. I don't know. Anyway, this is about as simple as you can get here. You got your antenna coil here. You got your tuned RF coil here. It uses 4 tubes plus the ballast tube here. Here's a speaker field coil. It's supposed to be 3,000 ohms. I do have a speaker that has a field coil on it, so I'm hoping I can fix that one. So this has a date of 3/1/37, but I've yet to find a picture of the one I've got, so hopefully I can find one. Well, the cabinet on this is in pretty bad shape.
You broke it, you fix it.
Not bad.
This front's not too bad, but they got a bunch of loose pieces.
So why don't you fix it, meathead, huh?
A top that needs to be rebuilt. But the main thing I want to do here is just to test the radio first. And we'll worry about this later.
I'll worry about that when the time comes.
Let's see if we can fix that field coil speaker. I'm in the process of trying to fix this field coil speaker here. Now the spider was all damaged, so I picked up a couple of spiders. This is what it originally looked like. It's not quite the same size that I need, so I took this and cut it. See how I cut it over here? So I'm going to use this. Now the voice coil was damaged. You can see I repaired it with some post-it note here. See that yellow there?
Oh, brother.
So I already got it in there. I've got it soldered to these 2 wires here. Later I'll put some liquid tape over here. So this measures 3.4 ohms. So it's a 4 ohm speaker. So I've got this glued in here. And these normally go this side up like that. Let's try it like that. So with that in there, I can move it up and down and it's not rubbing anywhere. So I'm going to glue that up here like that. I'm going to glue this the opposite way. Instead of the normal way, I'm going to flip it around. So that'll lower it down a little bit more. And it goes up and down a little bit better that way. So that means I've got to put glue on this side. Hopefully that'll work.
I'm not a smart man.
I'm not expecting much, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on this radio. And if this doesn't work, I have a plan B. Can't have any glue on that voice coil.
Some people would say that's real sloppy.
Boy, I made a mess here.
This is ridiculous.
I think it's great because it's so bad.
Okay, I finished the speaker. Let's see if this old Zenith speaker will work. Let me show you it. I added liquid tape here on the wires. I might add a dust cover here later, but I'm not worried about that now. Speaker doesn't rub. Goes up and down very nice. Now will this work? Old Buzz hasn't a clue, but I gave it my best shot. What more can I do? Well, I ran into some bad luck here. This is the output transformer that came with the radio. I wanted to use this. This would probably work on that Zenith speaker. So I was trying to solder some wires to the voice coil wires there, but they broke off. Now if I still want to use this, I'm going to have to take this apart and unravel all this paper and resolder some new wires on there.
Son of a bitch!
And I don't have the time for that right now. So in order to test this radio, we're going to power it up with the Hammond Universal Audio Output Transformer. Let me show you that. So here it is. This is good for 4 ohm, 8 ohm, 16 ohm, or 32 ohm. And the primary is good for 10,000, 5,000, and 2,600 ohm. I've used this to test on various radios. It comes with all these wires so you can configure it to what you need. Now this costs a lot of money and I don't want to use this on that cheap radio. That's why I want to fix this one. Alright, let's fire it up. Okay, yesterday I spent some time going through this wire by wire to make sure everything was right. And good thing I did, because I found a very serious error on here. Now the 43 tube, which is the output tube, has pin 5 going to ground here. And I found out this thing, instead of pin 5 going to ground, they had pin 5 going to the B plus here.
Oh, good Lord!
Now I found that because I measured from here to here on the capacitor, and there was a dead short on there. So I consider myself lucky to find that, instead of powering it up with a dead short on there. Also, these two caps here, these are these paper caps, they were bad. So I replaced these, and one of the tubes was bad.
Oh my holy God.
This is a 6C6 tube. It had the cap missing on it, and it probably had gone to air because the wire is loose over here. So I had to replace that one.
Oh, that's good. That's good that you've done that. Oh, it's real good.
So now that everything's been checked here, I'm pretty sure this is going to work. So let's try it. Okay, fire it up, Buzz. Well, I can feel the excitement in the air. We're ready to power this up. I'm pretty sure it's going to work, but you never know. So let's get started here. We'll flip the variac on. We'll make that hot. Okay, we're live. Volume is up. This is the output transformer I'm using to test. We got our speaker here. This meter is hooked up to the 25 volts on the rectifier tube. This is a series strung set. I want to make sure it doesn't go over 25 volts. This is hooked up to the B plus. I'm guessing we'll get around 100 volts, maybe more, I don't know.
Please hurry up.
Okay, Buzz, shut up and let's get started. Here you go.
Finally!
We'll just go up to 30 volts. We see the AC going into the rectifier tube there. No B plus yet. Let's just go up to 60. We're picking up some B plus there. 70 volts. $80 volts. Let's put it up to 90, and that's when stuff happens. Got 90 volts B plus. We got almost 20 volts on the rectifier tube. I hear nothing on the speaker. I think that switch is kind of flaky.
For anything. Because O.J. Simpson got off, the jury found him not guilty of murder based on
Excellent.
him arguing that
I knew it was going to
America
work.
had a racist history, and the Los Angeles Police Department had a racist history, and therefore he shouldn't be responsible.
Hey, my speaker sounds pretty good, huh?
What happened, and in fact that they framed him, and the jury bought it. I think to
Didn't
the
think it was going to work.
credit of the jury, I think O.J. Simpson traded on true racism that I acknowledge exists.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Home if this goes sideways. You don't lose your last dime and you're back to $756 if this all goes sideways. That's a James Bond move. And people think that that's all romantic, but it's not. It's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, I do. So, yeah. Gets their guy back.
Picks up his stations. Not bad for a TRF radio.
But it's cheap, it's clean, it's all mine.
Only at 90 volts here. Let's go up to about 120. Up, we've got 25 volts there. Let's just back that down a little bit. We'll back that down to 25 volts.
Reading this New York Times story is that if this guy was so deep in the hole,
115
was
B plus.
notification and revenue-based working capital program up and down, ran around the building and screamed in your face to everybody. And administrators didn't. Everybody was just so shocked. By the way, there was no punishment for this. I mean, they just kind of they just did this. And I guess it was considered acceptable.
Plenty of volume.
Toxic moment of race politics in this country. It is so grotesque that there was finally, I think, a national reckoning from.
Well, there you go. The 1937 Mystery Pacific Radio. Working again.
Well, hip hip hooray!
Ashes to for you.
Well, there's the finished transformer. As you can see, I painted it red. Also put some paper around it.
Nice, awful nice.
Looks pretty smart, huh?
It's wonderful.
But you know, I forgot to measure the resistance on here. I don't even know if the wires are still hooked up. So I got my meter here. We're going to measure the ohms over here and the ohms for the voice coil. Hopefully nothing broke while I was putting that back together. Oh boy, knowing Buzz, I probably screwed it up. So let's test it. Okay, we're going to test the primary first. Now I measured this earlier, and it measures like 400 ohms, something like that. Oops. So let's try that. These damn cheap leads. Anybody make these things that are not cheap? Okay, come on baby, Show me 400. Oh. 474. Whew. That still works. Now, we should get pretty low resistance here. .5 ohms. So that looks like that's good too. Boy, did I luck out there. Imagine if that thing didn't work. I would have had to take the whole thing apart again. I'm going to connect all this together and we're going to put some music on and test it. I'm sure it's going to work. How it's going to sound, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll work. So don't go away. This ought to be fun. Okay, I got it hooked up here. Got it hooked up to the speaker. The noise in the background you hear is my computer because I got my broadcaster on. So we're going to just play a tune here, see how it sounds. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Let's do it. Yes!
Yes.
You didn't have to tell me. I knew it all the time. So you were the one who loved me and leave me and like me to think it was nice. So you were the one I thought on the level on heaven from paradise. How could you make me happy with someone else on your mind? You didn't have to tell me. I knew it all the time.
Well, that's going to do it for part 1. I really wanted to complete this radio in one episode, but there's still too much stuff to do here, especially the cabinet. I haven't figured out whether to fix it up or try to rebuild it. It's in pretty rough shape, as you know, so we'll see. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I try to make my videos entertaining and not boring, so I hope I succeeded. So I hope to see you next month when we finish this up. So this is Old Buzz signing off. Good night, everybody. Stay tuned for another Buzz Cinema with everybody's favorite host, Dickel. Up next. That's good.
Okay, Dickel. Action!
What? Action? I'm eating here. Cut! Cut the camera! Sorry about that, folks, but when there's a 0 bar to eat, I can't be interrupted. Welcome to another edition of Buzz Cinema. Tonight's film was shot and directed by Buzz in 1967 on Thanksgiving Day. The title of this 8mm film is called The Gluttons. This stars Buzz's older brother Bose and also stars the Van Hooser brothers' mom. Being that her birthday was in April, Buzz wanted to feature his mom, who would have been 105 years old this month. There's no story here, just 2 people eating. So if you like to eat, then you'll like this film. Let the eating begin.
Dinner is served.
Mm.